Okay, so there's 4 ingredients I use for my cure. I will only show you 2, but if you get these 2 or even just this by itself, the Poskies Bork's Fire. I do the orange. Let's go for the krill. It's got krill in it. Fish love krill. Remember that, fish love krill for the salmon and steelhead. The other thing I use is made by Poskies. It's called Nectar. I have no idea actually what this is, but I know the fish love it. So the perfect scent brine cure for trout, salmon, steelhead, and sturgeon. So trust me, this stuff works wonders. You guys have seen my eggs. There are 2 other things I do add to my eggs, but I will not go into detail for what that is, because then, well, what's the fun in that, right? But these 2 things alone will catch fish. Either you can use this by itself, or you can even just use this by itself. So this stuff works really good. You cannot burn your eggs. Doesn't matter how much of this stuff you use. I'll show you guys how to use this stuff here in a second. They have multiple colors. They've got the orange, they've got purple, they've got the natural color, which looks like the color of sand, and then they've got like 1 or 2 other colors, and they also have a liquid brine for the Bork's Fire. So definitely check it out. Like I said, I love Poskies. You're in eggs. Always make sure you bleed your fish out as best as you can, as fast as you can, to get these eggs looking like gold. Okay, so these eggs are pretty they're kind of loose. So what I'm gonna do, take your knife, make sure it's a sharp knife, and you want to go in between and open these eggs up. Okay. Yes, I almost just stabbed myself for not paying attention. In the eggs, hopefully you guys can see it, there's a little bit of blood in these eggs. Okay. So what I do after I open them up, and you only want to open them up enough to where they're kind of spread out pretty good. Okay. Butterfly is what it's called. Okay. You want to get something to get this little bit of blood that's left over in the eggs out. So when you have your skein right here, see that really good? Okay, come over here. You can cure this up just like this, or get it over here. What I do, if I'm making spawn sacks, I take the whole skein. Stop, Tana. And what I do is I just squeeze very lightly, light pressure, not even really squeezing. Getting the eggs, it's a very long process, but you will get the eggs out. The other way you can do this is taking a spoon. See, all loose eggs. The other way is to scrape it with a spoon, and you scrape the skein, but you'll also break a bunch of eggs. This way, I can apply as much pressure as I want, a little easier, and I'm not breaking it. The end product is all these loose eggs right here. You can hit stop. So after you get all the eggs out, I drain mine on a screen over my sink. Yes, she's probably going to kill me because there's skein draining over these, but this helps a lot. You can have it outside. I prefer to have it inside because there's less flies inside. All right, let it sit on your screen for about 45 minutes. Some people I know let it sit up to 8 hours. What you want is when you touch them to feel sticky on your hands. These are sticky, but see how that one just falls out? You want it to stick and stay a lot longer than that. So I'll come back for the next step. It's been 8 hours and my eggs, as you can see, are sticky. This is the consistency and how they should fill. So the next step would be to get these in a container and start the curing process. So on the Borax fire, just sprinkle a decent amount, liberally. I have a lot of eggs here, so I have probably roughly 10 pounds of eggs. So the stuff goes a long way. Just, like I said, sprinkle it. Okay. Put a little bit more. And then you want to mix this up. I'll add the Posky's nectar. You want to shake it really, really good. And then what I do is mix a little bit of that stuff in my eggs. Now the Posky's is going to soak up some of that moisture that's left in the eggs, absorb it, and then let the moisture come out of the eggs, and then it reabsorbs it again. So it works great. It's going to plump these eggs up. Like I say, that's what they look like now. I'll show you when they're plumped up just a little bit better. It's also going to firm up the egg. These eggs right now, if I squeeze them, they're going to break. You know, they're gonna be yolky. So this stuff here alone is going to firm the eggs up. They'll be ready to fish in the morning. The longer you keep in the fridge, the better. This stuff you can keep in the fridge. I've kept it up for 2 months in the fridge. Anything longer than that, then you're going to want to go ahead and freeze it. So that's what I put in mine. Aside for the 2 other things I add that's different, that makes it that pop. But these 2 things alone right here will get you guys on fish and start catching them. So after you put all your ingredients in, then you just want to stir it with your hand. Try to be gentle so you're not cracking eggs. Like I said, the method I use to pull these eggs out of the skein, you get a lot more eggs, you know, because you're not really breaking them. So you just mix it up really good. Make sure you flip the bottom to the top and vice versa. Do that a couple times. Then put this in the fridge for, 6 hours minimum is what I like. And you can have them up, like I said, for 2 months. I'm going to fish these this weekend. So that's it for now. I'll show you what they look like when I pull them out of the fridge tomorrow morning, just so you guys can see what it looks like. All right, so it's been about 5 hours or so, give or take, since I put all the cure on these eggs. You can see that they are firming up, getting a lot bigger. I mean, that's the consistency of tackiness you want. You can see the juices, because the egg cure is gonna absorb into these, and then they're gonna milk, and then they're gonna reabsorb all that stuff. So that's what that juice is. So after a couple hours, two hours minimum, to about 7 hours max, you want to keep mixing this stuff up. I'll mix this about another 2-3 times max for a total of 2 to 4 times of mixing it up. All right. Once I do that, I let this sit. Then I'll take some paper towels, kind of soak up some of this extra stuff. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep mixing this up throughout the day. Okay, so after you take everything and the juices have absorbed as much as they possibly can, if you still have leftover juices from adding the paper towels or whatnot into your container, you can dump the eggs back on your screen and let them drain, which is what I did. So these are ready to put back in the container, and these are now ready to tie up. If you don't have paper towels to put in your container to soak up some of them juices, the other thing to toughen them up, obviously add a little bit of borax over this stuff. Borax will make them firm. Let's see. So there's the egg, and these are going to be good eggs. So hope this little tutorial helped you guys.